going to the host of today's podcast. Our topic is about dealing with difficult people. I guess you guys heard a lot about difficult. Do you guys understand the meaning of difficult people? Is to know more about the definition of difficult people. Welcome to A to share her thought.
Okay, hello guys. I'm Asqia Rianzani from IPB University. I will share with you guys about a difficult person. Difficult person is someone who often lacks empathy. They always think to feel they are better than everyone else. This type of person seems to expect others to behave like them, and if the other person doesn't act as they expected, they might start to hate them. For example, some people are introvert in nature, so they are a bit shy, and the introvert one wants the introvert to behave like them. Another example is they dislike someone for no reason, just because they feel envy or want what the other person has. They may consider it unfair that someone has what they like. This part means difficult people are not happy for others when people around them achieve success. Maybe that's what I want to share with you guys.
Um, that pretty cool now. I think you guys have understand the meaning of it right now, but we need to know more about what make them difficult. So this is an important part, and welcome to Arita. Explain about it.
Okay, so I will share with you guys what I know about what makes someone a difficult person. I think everyone has their own personality types. Therefore, personality clashes might happen and can ruin interpersonal relationships. This relationship can be worse if both parties lack of empathy, criticism, and callous behavior. Uh, the meaning of lack of empathy is some individuals never seem to care about anyone but themselves. This lack of empathy can make them especially challenging to deal with. They may have trouble understanding other people's emotions or circumstances. These people often come across as callous and uncaring. And then the second one is criticism. People with can highly critical mind can be among the most challenging to be around. It can seem like nothing and no one meets their standards. Unfortunately, the closer you are to a highly critical person, the more their comments sting, and it can be so hurtful. And it will be bad for your mental. And then this can be particularly upsetting in personal relationships. The third one is callous behavior. Callous behavior is defined as being insensitive with a cruel disregard for others. It is just like the one who always thinks negatively about others because that person already feels proud of themselves. I think that's some of the reason why people is what makes someone difficult person.
As Arita mentioned, there are so many factors that cause someone difficult. So now they've got to know more about how to and defeat difficult people and take out difficult people to the end. Actually, hello guys, I'm Sonita and I'm going to talk about how to identify difficult people. The first thing is if they always interrupt other conversation or anything else is a kind of person who can be have a toxic habit. We can identify difficult people by seeing they stop someone from speaking, by saying or doing something that or cause an activity or even to stop briefly. Second is to know it all. This is someone who feels sure that they know everything more than anybody else. It's just like they feel proud of themselves or colorless. That is the negativity spreader. This is someone who's not content with just having negative feelings. They want to pass them on agreement. Mm, Obviously, difficult people have an aggressiveness about themselves. They tend to be rude and sometimes hostile toward others. This type of difficult people is in a person is usually brought on by someone who doesn't mind their own business and doesn't seem to have boundary. There are so many ways to identify difficult people, but our team just take some point to present for you guys. And let's get into type of difficult people. Type of difficult people have so many, and the first one is the bully. This is the classic example, and what many probably think of as a difficult people. They tend to be very accepting and unyielding in their position. And the second one is egomaniacs. A close cousin of the bully is the egomaniacs. These people border on the ridiculous is how highly they think of themselves, not only in their perceived self-worth, astronomical, but they also seem to think that they know everything. And the third one is the needy one. All of us have need. They some have a lot and some other have a little. A needy person is someone who feels they need more attention and validation than other in a group. Needy, some people are needy all the time, but some need less often in a different way. But occasion we all find ourselves needing more than other do from our feeling like our needs are not being met by those around us. It can be a challenge for everyone involved of it. Become habitual, but there is no shame by asking for help when you really need it. As long as you know how to ask respectfully and patiently. And the fourth one is complainer. It can be very, very tempting because complainer have no trouble finding fault and they never satisfy. And it's not that the complainer is necessarily wrong. It's that all they do is tell us what's wrong and usually at less and about things that really matter are beyond our control. A complainer is usually described as someone who wants blame other and makes several occasions they manage to find fault with everything. And this is my part. So that's all. After learning about how to identify and try out difficult people, so live as explain more about the strategy of holding difficult people.
Okay, we all have difficult people in our lives who drive us nuts. They are annoying, frustrating, and exploiting, but there are some ways to help us deal with them. The first way to disengage difficult people is trying to understand where they are coming from. It's not about they are coming from home, but it's about why they become like that, and demand uh, and don't judge them because you don't know what other person is going through. Don't demand a complainer, for example, telling someone who's upset to be quiet and calm down because it will just make him or her irate. Instead, ask the person what they are upset about and allow them to vent. The second one is to keep extra space between you and another person. Your estimate your estimate may be to try to calm the other person down by putting your arm on it or some other similar gestures that may be appropriate in another context. And the third way is don't return anger with anger, like raising your voice, pointing your finger, or speaking respectfully to the other person will add fuel to an already heated situation. Use a low, calm, even monotone voice. Don't try to talk over the person, and wait until the person takes a breath and they speak. And the fourth is listening. Listening is the best way in dealing with unreasonable people. We need to allow them to share their opinion and show that we are willing to listen by making eye contact, asking them some question, and showing your activities that make them feel you're interested. In what they are saying, another thing you can use humor deal with them. Sometimes we take things too seriously, and that will lead us to have a difficult conversation. From this, using some sense of humor can help us to diffuse the tension in the conversation. For example, cracking a joke or even a smile can help lower the stakes. It can remind you of shared common ground and even turn both of you into a more collaborative mood. Instead, try to all things consider that dealing with difficulties is an unfortunate yet unavoidable part of life. It will be fantastic if we get along with everyone met. Maybe that's enough from me about strategy to handling difficult people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the great insight, guys. Because we already at the end of our conversation, do you guys have any closing remarks?
Okay, I have some closing remarks for us. It's like some tips. It's a tip for us if we meet difficult people at work. As much as possible, we try to limit our interactions with them whenever possible or appropriate. Invite a third party on a difficult conversation and try to keep our body language neutral when dealing with them. Since carrying around additional tension will likely make the whole interaction feel more strained. And that's enough for me. Enough from me, and thank you.
Thank you for listening to the broadcast. Be signing out and saying
Okay, done.
Hari Hari.